Hey, it's Walt with One Fall WrestleCast. Hey, so Derek's here, but he's not here. So Tom and I are going to play the game. Um, Obviously, Survivor Series War Games was a thing this weekend. We're going to discuss a little bit about that. There's some fallout. I don't know if anybody's aware. I'm sure that you are by now. Also, can AEW be saved? We know who the savior is, according to Facebook.
Oh, God.
We're going to talk about that. And negotiations between Sasha Banks and WWE have stalled again. I can't wait to talk about this one with Derek. So, yeah, we're going to just go ahead and hop right into it.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
Yo.
What's up, dude?
So I've got it's gonna be at least the 4-minute mark before where our live is.
Okay, so I'm looking at 8:34 on my clock right
So
here on my computer.
So I'm gonna go with let's say 8:39.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 8:35.
Because you see him. That's not fair. That wasn't fair.
Right there.
That wasn't fair.
He's
okay.
Right there.
That's fine. There you go. All right. Hey, buddy. Nice to see you.
Yeah, bud.
Hey, long time no see, guys.
Right?
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, so we did a thing. We did a thing before the thing for a thing. So we were already here in one place, and then I was like, hey, we've got to switch from this room to this room. We'll see everybody in a couple of seconds. Well, I went up and told my kids goodnight. Tom went and got a beer, and Derek went and did fuck all. And Tom and I were back in 32 seconds, and Derek was back in 34 minutes. So,
Derek, we're live, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my microphone covers that. That's good. Good.
Yeah.
So we did the thing with the guitar and the
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
Yeah, the whole
thing.
thing.
Wow.
It was good.
Hi, everybody. What's up?
It was really smooth, actually.
Yeah. Nice.
I like that Derek's in this room right now that's like just looks so open and like, God, look, are those hardwood floors?
He clearly took
I lived
my
in
storage unit jab to heart last week.
Are those
it's
hardwood
seasons? We were going from decorating for fall to Christmas. Yeah, it's just laminate, but I laid it all. I mean, it's
so
like
so
stuff
shiny.
that clicks together or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I had that too, and then
Tongue
I got
and
it
groove.
wet, and then I got it wet, so now it don't so much.
Oh
tongue
yeah,
and
don't do
groove.
that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my fault. My dishwasher leaked, so
Well, that'll screw it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's dry
I
now.
hate it.
But
Yeah, man. Thank you.
I hate it when that happens.
It's very wide
Yeah,
open in here. I like it much
it's
better this.
it's the
I
way.
can express myself and use the whole
So much room for
area of the
activities.
room. Exactly.
So much room for activities now.
Hey,
The
so Derek,
animation factor goes up. Yes, sir.
Derek, did you hear the news?
Oh gosh. I don't know. Probably not.
Your favorite WWE superstar is in negotiations to make a return.
I have heard some rumblings of this. I think we even might have spoke about it on a previous show. But it is getting louder and louder that this could be a thing.
It's not really what it's getting is clickbaitier and clickbaitier is what it's getting. Because
I mean, there for a minute we had The Rock supposedly was coming back, and now we're hearing.
Quite frankly, we're almost now at this point. And Walt, I know I'm like stepping on your toes here.
No, you're good because Derek is not going the way that I'm expecting him to go.
Because quite frankly, at this point, we're at the point where it's like you can continue to tease this, but at what point is everybody going to stop giving a fuck? Because I think we're about there, right? It's like she's not CM Punk, right? And how quickly did the fuck CM Punk chants start? post that. So God, I just don't know anymore. Like I loves me some Sasha Banks, but like
The
epiphany,
the epiphany that Derek just had, because he did not realize what the fuck we were talking about. And as soon as you said he went, huh?
I made a list. We just spoke about a list.
I love that his list. I like that his list is like written in crayon on like a thing where like he like also writes his fucking grocery lists on.
It's been in my pocket for days. It's all folded.
Hey, bud. So I don't know if you're aware, but Sasha Banks and WWE have been in contract negotiations for her to make a comeback. Well, those talks have stalled as of early this morning. And do you know why?
I don't know. Money? Greed?
It's because of money.
Possibility to injure someone? I don't know. So many options.
Only possibility to injure herself. Good God, you can't say that Sasha Banks is unsafe towards other people. She's unsafe towards her own neck and head. Okay, that's the only thing that's in danger when Sasha Banks is in the ring. But moving on. Paige is in the Wild West right now, buddy. Let's not fucking get to that yet, because that was a thing that we went into last week, and y'all were rough to me on, but now you're making
Paige
jokes about it.
There.
Now now she shouldn't be out there. Now she shouldn't be out there when you're like now Mr. fucking silent last week. Okay, all right. Tom's concerned that Paige is going to break her neck in the shittiest women's division ever to exist in women's wrestling, and everybody else is like, I don't know why it's such a big deal with Paige. Fuck you guys. Fuck you especially. Fuck you especially. Anyway, moving on with ye old Sasha Banks. Yeah, okay, so it's stalled because of money. I hope Tony Khan pays her so goddamn much money. Really, I hope she does. And then I hope like she can't find fucking time on TV either, because that's where we are right now. Please, for the love of God, let's bleed this money mark dry. And like Sasha Banks is like cast in like 19 different fucking series right now. She's literally in Hollywood filming like The Mandalorian and like 3 other Star Wars shows. She's probably in talks to get her own goddamn Star Wars show at this point, because Disney Plus like pumps out a new Star Wars series like every other day. And so yes, please, Tony Khan, for the love of God, if you could just like pay Sasha Banks like all your money and then like let her show up once every other month, you'll totally get your money's worth. It'll be great, buddy. It really, really will, because she's the boss, and it'll be boss time. Is that it? Did I put that over enough?
Damn.
So Derek, what do you think about the proposition of Sasha Banks showing up over on AEW television?
You want me to fucking follow that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, she'll be a game changer, buddy. Look, all the fucking AEW marks are going to tell you that all the AEW marks are going to tell you that Sasha Banks is the game changer. She's going to be the one. After all,
they said that about Jade Cargill too, buddy.
They said that about everybody.
Wow,
they said it about Toni Storm. They said it about Andrade. They said it about Miro. They said that. Look, the list of the AEW game changers is longer than the current AEW roster is right now. But I tell you what, Sasha Banks, that's the one. That's the fucking game changer right there. I'll tell you what, buddy. You're not going to beat that one. That's the game changer right there.
What? If she does, that's great. That's great. Whatever gets Tom to watch.
She's going to change the game, buddy. She's going to change it.
We're going to be up over 1 million, buddy.
Oh my God. They're going to at least hit 900K this week. For God's sake. Finally, that one time when Sasha Banks comes out, that'll be the 900K show.
Don't
right
you
there.
tease me.
Whew, man, that'll be what a good
872 this past week, man.
Oof.
Like
look, they earned that with every fiber of their being by putting on dog shit show after dog shit show after dog shit show. How can they stop?
I guess we didn't learn a lesson last week. Whenever I came to you with my hat in my hand and I asked you respectfully and politely to watch the show through a different lens.
Sorry, I don't have those glasses that make shit wrestling turn into good wrestling. I don't have those glasses. Do you have those glasses, Walt? Can I borrow them? Can I borrow glasses that make things that look fucking terrible good? Does that exist? Do those exist? Why did we stop sending Hook? I feel like we stopped sending Hook. Like, let's send Hook. Where's Hook?
We sent him on Friday.
Did we?
We did.
No, we didn't. Not this.
Do you know why
Friday.
they quit? Hey, do you know why they quit sending Hook? Because Tony Khan finally realized that Dominic Mysterio was the fucking young new talent that everybody fucking wanted to pay attention to.
Oh, there he is.
That's terrible.
There he is. Hey,
Sent-
you know who's got screen
Sent
time?
Hook on Friday. He says sent Hook on Friday at fucking 4 p.m.
Hey, look.
4 p.m. we sent Hook. That's gonna get some viewers, pal.
Hey, but you know who they said? You know who was just on the screen? Dominic Mysterio, and they won. Winners. They beat.
Who'd have thought?
Hey, who won? Who won Black Friday, Tom? Okay, AEW sending Hook at 4 p.m. on TBS. Okay, or Dominic Mysterio beating the fuck out of his dad all over Twitter.
Dominic Mysterio beating the fuck out of his dad all over Twitter, because that definitely went over 1 million views. Like that. The last I saw, I think it had 4 million views.
Yup.
At least. So yeah, Dominic. God, that was oh my god.
Hey, how many
That was
viewers did
Thursday.
Rampage have this week? 12. You know what I was doing at 4 o'clock on Black Friday? Huh? Wasn't fucking sitting down watching TV.
I was eating a lovely meal with my family is what I was doing, because I had my family come over, so I wasn't watching Rampage. If Hook was on there, great, but he was sent out to die on a show that was taped 2 weeks ago. Who'd he wrestle on Friday, Derek? If Hook was out there,
I couldn't even.
I don't know.
Nobody knows, because it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter who
Some
it
fucking
was.
chooch. That's who
Some
you wrestle.
Hey, some chooches
Chicago
out there.
chooch, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, and he beat him in 3 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
So, anywho, what else are we talking about today? This was quite despite it being a holiday week, there was some supremely. Can we stick with AEW for a sec?
Yeah, because I would love to talk about the bullshit that I saw on the internet today.
Let's talk about that next, and then we can talk about CM Punk again, because that gets us ratings.
Well, of course, we have to, get our CM Punk fix.
We got to hit 12 too.
Hey,
we stopped talking about Joey Janela. Now we're going to talk about CM Punk.
Yeah. So, Derek, I want to before we did the other thing that we did with the thing for the thing, right?
Yeah.
Tom and I were
sitting
in the room waiting to do the thing because you were doing some other fucking thing instead of doing what we set out to do, right?
I was talking to the deer out on the porch.
Yeah,
that's what he was doing.
Yeah, guaranteed. So
the deer.
I was scrolling Facebook, right, and I just started laughing as I was like coming into the room, and I'm like, the fucking shit that I read on the internet, right? So I was scrolling Facebook. Ringside News had placed an article on their page that said, can anybody save AEW Dynamite? And it had a picture with the ratings drop, and they were like 872K this week. And no shit, as I'm scrolling by, one of the comments I see is the only person that can save this shit show is Vince Russo.
I'm sure it had a lot of laughy faces.
That person couldn't have been serious, right? I think they were. Only
At this point,
AEW,
probably, bro.
only AEW marks could say things like that with their chest,
Yeah.
and be like serious about it. Like, Vince Russo is the only person who can save this company. This is somehow post WCW, post TNA, like, I don't understand. Like,
Bro, Sports Keita still writes about this dude like he's the goddamn fucking black, white, brown, purple Jesus of fucking professional wrestling. He'll be like, retired WWE head of creative, or former WWE veteran, or top-notch WWE former writer. Like, they put this dude over, and I'm like, every single time I see something, I'm like, that's about Vince Russo, 100%.
It's just you can't even at this point. It's just you can't even.
You know how you fix the booking?
This motherfucker time. Why do we keep
you want to know how you fix the booking? I'm gonna give somebody else some motherfucking time. This other motherfucker, Jim Cornette. This whole thing could have been a big old work the whole time that he hates him. And now he comes to AEW with his tennis racket and a loud mouth and his shit ass attitude.
Listen here, motherfuckers. This shit sucks. Motherfuckers.
Come out here and destroy the entire company.
Look, they'd have to let him book this from they'd have to let him work remotely.
Somebody give me a pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's gonna watch his wife.
He'd have to
fuck this whole thing up.
He'd have to fax in. He'd rewrite it in pencil and fax it in. Truthfully, though, those would become incredible shows. That show would become must-watch TV. You get a lot of FTR real fast. You get a lot of FTR, and a lot of Wardlow, and a lot of just God. You know, now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, this would be tremendous. Actually, you would get so much less Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and CM Punk references and all that. We should talk about that next. But yeah, let's go. Let's do that. Like, how's Tony Khan not been like, Jim? Do you want to book via fax and pencil? Because
fuck you, motherfucker. You're softer than puppy
I've got a typewriter.
I got a typewriter. No, he could type.
Stand your fucking face.
Types like this. They'd have to edit out a lot of fucks from the there need to be an extra a ghost over top.
I can see the conversation now. I can see the conversation now. Tony be like, "Oh, hey Jim, what can we do to maybe get the Young Bucks over this week?"
First,
Cornette would be like, "Fuck is the matter with you? Talk about the Young Bucks. You want to fucking put the Young Bucks over? Tell those motherfuckers to stay at home. Only fucking place they matter, motherfucker."
I would love to see Jim Cornette book the Young Bucks getting squashed. Although then the Bucks wouldn't
play ball.
They wouldn't play ball, and I'm getting
Sasha Banks and go home.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So speaking of the Bucks and Kenny Omega and everybody, apparently Kenny Omega and the Bucks in their 2 of 7, which is still I didn't watch it. Spoiler alert.
Fantastic match.
Yeah, okay, great. I saw all the clips where they made fun of CM Punk and everything, and apparently
it's in the running for match of the week.
I'm just saying, apparently that really made CM Punk's camp and CM Punk mad. Now I don't know why, because that doesn't make any.
Because Kenny bit his fucking bit dude's arm.
I saw that, but what? Who cares?
Made him mad.
And then he gave then he fucking did the go to sleep, and then he gave somebody a GTS,
and then he thanked Kenta.
Yeah, how have we not seen that CM Punk is the most thin-skinned 50-year-old man?
Oh my God, this fucking guy. Now CM Punk is a thin-skinned baby.
April, what the fuck is Kenneth doing?
Get me my
lawyer.
Lawyers. Bring me my smoking jacket so that I may speak with my attorney.
And I think the best part about it is, right? I think the best part about it is we talked about this in the group chat too. It's with all this rumor would have you believe that this is a work, right? It's so ridiculous at this point that it has to be a work now. It has to be.
He's coming back. That's the thing.
Because Tony Khan's a little bitch. We've leveled that playing field. That's gonna happen.
And on top of this, there's too much money involved now, right? CM Punk versus the Elite, and he can come back and just work shadow, come out, beat up one of the Young Bucks and leave. Come out, beat up Kenny Omega and leave. Come out, beat up the other Young Buck and leave. And just kind of there's so much money in this, right? And it's it could be such a light workload for CM Punk. And I don't see how you don't go with this as a wrestling, unless CM Punk is that much of a baby and hates money so much that he won't come back and make all the money and put all because obviously they're struggling without him. Like, I hate to say that, like, but like they don't know how to book anything without a guy who like was over, went away, came back. It was like without all this backstage drama, they don't know how to book shit. And you know, MJF is off filming a movie about pro wrestling. So like they don't have MJF to drive up their ratings. They can't be like MJF's going to be here and he's going to talk because that bumps up the ratings 200,000 people. But like when he's not there, it's
happen on Wednesday, pal.
Yeah, and you know what? Magically, the ratings are going to go back up, especially for that that segment is going to do 1.2 million. Now the rest of the show, it's a 2-hour show, and we can go by 15-minute intervals. That 15-minute interval is going to do really, really well. The rest of them,
I mean, listen, bud. I don't know why I have to continue to say this week in and week out.
Because it doesn't draw ratings. That's why. Every time you say it, and it's like you're wrong because nobody cares. No. So go on, say it, and then I'll explain to you why nobody cares.
Like, I just don't understand why you can't see the good that is happening on that side of the ball.
Buddy, I watch it like every other week, and like some of it's good, but like the rest of it's terrible.
But we got so
much of it. Why can't so bad?
Why can't we focus
I'll tell you
on
why.
the positive things
I'll tell you why.
As opposed to being always focused on the shit show aspect of everything. Because you know there's some bullshit going on over in Connecticut last night. You know that's getting a little bit of play, and we'll get into that.
We'll get to that.
And Look, I'll be interested to see where you live on that.
I'm going to shit on that too.
My opinion about it.
Look, they started this week with the stupidest segment that I've seen AEW, which is a big deal. The stupidest segment that I've seen I shut it off after this. So I have no idea what happened post this. Probably a bunch of Ring of Honor stuff, honestly. It was like probably this really stupid segment and then Ring of Honor. Correct me if I'm wrong. But so they started this week on AEW Dynamite with the stupidest segment I've ever seen because William Regal comes out and does his William Regal thing. And I love William Regal. I do. And at this point, I'm into it, right? I'm like, okay, this is okay. This is fine. William Regal's like, you know, Max will be here next week. I did my thing for Max, and I'm not going to tell you people why, and blah, blah, blah. Did his William, and it was good, right? It was exactly what I expected from him, and I'm like, okay, this is a great start. Oh, God, here comes Jon Moxley. Holy shit. Okay, right? Now we got something here. We got something here. As Mox comes out, Bryan Danielson is sprinting down the thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. Let's see what maybe Danielson's going to turn on him. Maybe something's going to happen. Maybe there's going to be some kind of something to come from this. But no, it's almost like it was a cock block, right? Bryan Danielson came down to cock block Jon Moxley. He comes out and he's like, "No, you don't want to hit him. Look, this man's old. His brain bleeds. You don't want to kill him. You might kill him. He made me love my dad. He made me love my dad. And what if somebody like him could make your daughter love you?" Like Mox didn't already go through rehab and like for his family and shit. Like none of that mattered. And it was the worst thing ever. And then fucking Mox gives Regal the Lion King promo. He's like, "You better run."
This motherfucker says the Lion King.
That's what it was. It was the Lion King promo, and it's so. I'm sorry, and then that was it. It was dead. That was the end of the segment. Nobody got any comeuppance. Mox,
listen. No, Mox is going on vacation.
Great,
like,
good
they
for
didn't
him.
Fuck what that they needed some closure on that, bro, and so Mox could go on vacation.
Well, the closure was like, I came in my pants too early. Sorry. It was embarrassing.
Damn.
Everybody involved in the segment should be embarrassed They should be
I'm
embarrassed.
sure
for,
that they are because it wasn't good.
It wasn't
they had
good.
to do something on the fly, apparently.
They should be embarrassed. Okay, on the fly, you had
that was
hours and days. You had days to come up with this.
Plus, you
on
really
the
should
fly,
have known
like what was everybody
the contract
high?
was coming up.
Was everybody high and passed out from like Saturday until Wednesday? Like, no, fuck that. Like, you couldn't come up with anything better than
Derek
this.
was.
Look, have Danielson turn on him. Have anything happen. Have anything happen. Literally anything other than let Mox give William Regal the fucking Lion King promo. Like, that's it. Anything else.
Said it again.
Literally anything else. Run. Like he's fucking Scar, and it's like, oh, maybe the hyenas will tear him. Terrible. Just
Mufasa.
Just like I could have. They had 5 days to write.
At this point,
oh my god! At this point, they should have just let him be on Saturday, and let him be like War Games. At this point, they should have just let him go because his contract is up in February. So now what? He's gonna go on holiday because he's British. He's gonna go on holiday. We're not gonna see him between now and February, and AEW is going to phone it in because, like, everybody else already has their time off logged in, so ain't nobody fucking working between now and February. Maybe after Valentine's Day, after everybody proposes in the middle of the ring to their fucking sweethearts. I'm looking at you, Sammy Guevara. You going to propose?
Anybody
to somebody
punched
else?
him in the face recently?
I don't know because they've been in Brazil and been in fucking Nicaragua and
you can't
Jamaica.
go there.
Like he just hasn't been in the towns that they've been doing stuff, except for that one match like on the pay-per-view where like he lost miserably after having like 2 or 3 spots, and now he's like back on traveling the world with my Brazilian wife. Like it's what a terrible show this is. What a terribly run company this is. It's like if Twitter had like a live TV show. It's that bad. It's literally that bad. It's so like nobody cares. Nobody's actually like coming to anything because everybody's got their own shit to do. But everybody's still getting paid. I can't watch. Like, what's going to happen on Wednesday? Does anybody know? Why should I tune in on Wednesday? Somebody quickly,
because
somebody tell me. MJF will be there. Okay, I heard that. Other than MJF being there, why should I tune in on Wednesday? For what match? Anybody? A match? Is there going to be another best of 7 match between the Elite and is that going to happen on Wednesday? Are we sure? Are we sure? Because apparently this is going through into January. Are we sure?
Yeah.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay, it's announced. We booked it.
Yeah.
Okay, well I don't want to watch that. So, anything else? Anybody?
I'm gonna guess that Jade Carpenter will be
hands.
Wow!
I can't miss that match.
Yeah, she's having a championship celebration.
Can't miss that.
And the baddies, I'm sure they'll be there.
Oh man, is Kira Hogan gonna be there?
No, she got fired.
Oh well, then I don't care. Point is,
he doesn't care.
Such a fucking hater, bro.
Point is, who can save AEW? I don't know. Maybe book your talent. Maybe book the people who are any fucking good, and have them be on the show. We buried Wardlow already, and like clearly they gave the title to Samoa Joe, who I love Samoa Joe, but okay,
yeah, that didn't take long.
Joe. Save me, Samoa Joe. Are we going to give Joe an hour? Is Joe going to get an hour on Wednesday? Because if Joe gets an hour, maybe I'll tune in. Have they advertised that? Because I'd love to see Joe get some time. But that's, man. How much time is Ring of Honor going to get? Because, like, that's the rest of the show, right? Like, so Jericho's going to be out there for 35, 40 minutes. What are the Ring of Honor chooches?
You're such a fucking hater, bro.
But buddy, it's like I'm trying to watch 2 just disjointed shows at the same goddamn time, and it's a 2-hour time slot, and they're trying to get in Ring of Honor and AEW all in the same time slot, and then but nobody cares. Nobody's really booked. Everybody's on vacation all the time, and there's no continuity to it. So there's no reason for me to watch week to week to week to week. It just doesn't make sense.
We've gone over this already. They are a live event show. They are not a television show. WWE
Well, when they come-
is a television show.
Well, when they come to Pittsburgh, maybe I'll come. Maybe I'll buy a $30 ticket and go see, and then I'll be moved up to the front row on the first tier, and it'll be fantastic. And I will have a great time, and I'll put it over. But like nothing that'll happen in that show will have any continuity with anything that happens on any future show, and there'll be no reason for me to watch the following week, other than maybe I'll go back and tape the week that I was there and be like, "There I was. I found us. And I'll circle it. And I'll circle my Mortal Kombat shirt or whatever stupid ass shirt I'm going to wear at the time. And I'll circle it and I'll put us on Facebook and be like, there we were. You see, guys, there we were. We were right there. And it'll be better for our show than it is for that show because our being there will only make their ratings plummet a little more. Am I wrong? Somebody prove me wrong. For the love of God, you're just going to call me a hater, but I'm right. Nobody could be more correct than me right now.
I mean,
I wouldn't even know where to start. There's like a giant
because I'm right. Because I'm right.
And fucking formulas and just have this fucking red tape going everywhere. What you got it? You got it. You go with that.
You got nothing. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard for you to sit down and enjoy the things that they do well.
Look, it's really hard for everybody else to do this too. This is why the ratings keep dropping. It's really hard for everybody to watch and try to find something good here because it's so few and far between at this point. I will watch the MJF because that'll kick off the show. MJF will get the mic to kick off the show. And then they'll be like, oh my God, it's Lee Moriarty. And he's about to fight Wheeler Yuta, who has his own haircut. Oh, he must have cut his own hair this week. Look how bad that looks. And then I'll shut it off. And that'll be the end of it. And I won't turn it back on because I know it doesn't get better than that. Chris Jericho has the last 45 minutes booked. Sorry, Claudio. I mean, he'll be there too to do something. I don't know. I mean, is the Blackpool Combat Club dead? Apparently they are. See, that would have been really cool if the BCC would have turned on Mox and beat the shit out of him. That could have been cool, right? But no, that didn't happen. So anyway, yeah.
It'd have been cool if they beat up William Regal. Either way, they really should have beat up William Regal.
They should have done something. They should have done something.
Say you're not right
other than a line
episode intro, Tom. That's for sure.
Hey,
but I don't think it's
look,
up and broken.
Hey, look! Everybody loves the Lion King, so why not give it a shot, right?
He did deliver it nicely.
Because it was verbatim written 30 years ago.
Well, yeah, Disney did a good job.
It's
a fucking classic.
I just don't.
The circle of life. What's our next topic?
Guys, did you watch Survivor Series?
I think I buried this
one. Got it.
For fuck's sake, Tom. Do you not find joy in anything in life ever?
No, actually, I actually really liked Survivor Series. I was chatting with you guys through the whole thing. They kicked off the match with the women's the women's War Games. And
a lot of people said that they thought that was going to steal the show.
No, sure didn't.
It did not.
It sure didn't. Man, Io had a rough night. It felt like every time she did, she would do something cool after she would do something stupid. But it was man, Io had a rough night. I sent the thing Rhea ended up carrying her away after because she had a rough night in a couple of ways. One, everything it seemed like she botched every other thing. I don't know if maybe she was hammered going into this because it looked a little bit like maybe she was hammered or nervous or something. One of the two. Maybe she got nervous, got hammered, botched a bunch of stuff.
They go together,
Yeah. Right. So she had a hard time. Dakota Kai took a lot of bumps that looked like they sucked. And I felt real bad for her because a lot of those bumps were like knees on fucking steel grate, owie. The stars shined, I feel through this. Bailey, Becky, and Bianca Belair really came out looking strong, as did Rhea. Rhea cleaned up, but everybody else really didn't look good at all. So there were 4 that looked good and 4 that just Asuka really felt buried. I don't know. I can't think of anything Asuka did in this match. Alexa Bliss maybe even more buried. It seems like she's got a new gimmick, but That was I don't.
No, I mean Alexa Bliss came out and basically did nothing as far
I'm
as
having trouble connecting to the internet.
Okay,
I'm having trouble connecting.
Shit. Well, yeah, I should probably not. Sorry.
I mean, it was just.
But anyway,
I mean, the whole match, like, it seemed like it worked out a little bit. You may want to unplug her a little bit. But so it seemed like it sort of like it was just disjointed, and it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but it was, and it wasn't even the worst thing on this card, but it wasn't good. I don't know that it was like terrible, but there was a lot of terrible moments, and it's not something I would. It's the worst women's War Games match that we've seen.
Yes.
In WWE.
Well, we've never seen WWE War Games.
If we're putting it under the NXT under it's the worst one. And it's not something that I would look to see again. And also the finish didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, Becky won obviously because she's Becky Lynch, but at the same time, it didn't really accomplish anything. Unless Becky's going to feud with Bayley in a sort of solo sense and like they're going to move on with.
I feel like that's got to happen, right? Like that's going to kind of be our title eliminator.
Yeah, it's like and at least through, Survivor Series, at least through the Rumble and some other like Bianca has to feud with somebody else now, and it just can't be. We can't do this anymore, right? We just can't. So, it was like it wasn't. It's hard because it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was like I wanted it to be good, and it was like parts of it were very, very not. Once it got started, once Becky got in the match and the bell rang, ding, 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 it was good from there.
Yeah,
but kind of like 50% of everything that happened before that was bad.
Well, I mean, I think you could say that about any War Games match that you watch, right? It's like you're really
not
just
to this level.
You're really just filling time until you get to the payoff when the bell actually rings. You know what I mean? Like we saw it a little bit in the men's match too, where it was a little disconjointed and discombobulated and just a fucking little shit show of a mess.
Well, I think they put too much time between two. Generally, the War, and because I went back to check this too, because I was like 3 minutes felt like a long time. It previously was in NXT 2, so 3 minutes between entrance may have been too much. And that might have been part of it, but and maybe if you cut out a minute between each entrance, you give them a minute of like cut out, maybe the rest of it's really good and it's a better, it's a tighter, better match, right? But from my perspective, it's just it was rough. It was a rough.
I had said this in the group chat too, and it's like I could see why Vince never used War Games in any of his programming, because like the two rings makes it hard to shoot, and then like from a standard match standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got all of this just discombobulated downtime that like I feel like would drive Vince crazy, right? So like I think Triple H takes it and he looks at it and maybe he reels it in a little bit. Because it needs to be a very well produced match in order to keep the fans invested. And I think that the live crowd in Boston kind of gave them that feedback.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It was quiet at times and then it was loud at times. And I think they got a little bit of both. And I think the match maybe deserved a little bit of both. I think the ending really went well. I think the professionals really took over at the end to kind of save the match, but at that point, I don't want to say we were disinvested in it, but it had gone too much, but the professionals really took over and showed why they're better than everybody else, and they're really like Becky, Bayley, and Bianca and Rhea Ripley really took over at the end of the match, and really like the last, for when Rhea got in there through the end was very, very solid, very good, but everything kind of leading up to that was a little bit like dicey.
Yeah.
Oh, and if I'm being honest, at that point, I am disinterested in the match. I'm disinvested or whatever you wanted to say there, uninvested in the match at this point. It went on for good solid 20.
So so I watched this entire pay-per-view with my son.
No.
I watched the entire pay-per-view with a 9-year-old.
The opening match, Derek, was 57 minutes.
Okay, so I watched the entire pay-per-view with my son. When things heated up at the end of the match, he jumped to his feet and was jumping around about it and was excited about it. And so this was my gauge of that, because here's me, disenfranchised wrestling fan. The end of the match was over for him, and he cheered when Becky won because he knows who she is. He likes her as a character, and he cheers. He's 9. So let's put that into perspective. So the end of the match, I felt like was good because otherwise he was just chilling here with me.
Mm.
So
That's fair.
Yeah, so that's my gauge on that.
I'll give him that. The end was good, but obviously, Walt, you correct me there, and an hour. It felt
57
long.
minutes.
Yeah, it was. It was. There was a lot of intro, but yeah, it was a long match.
Yeah, I mean, I remember texting with you while I was kind of live watching it, and specifically saying this whole let's go with Oscar and Io Sky section, and then Tom, you brought that up in the beginning. Was
you had a rough night? She had a rough night.
Not even a botch fest, I wouldn't say. It just didn't look good. There was nothing good going on.
She had a rough night, and it's I feel like it looked like it hurt, but she had a rough night.
And I think that overall for me, the card and as a whole, like the show as a whole was it was a well put together show, right? I mean, you've got Finn Balor and AJ Styles.
Great.
Like, I thought it was fantastic.
Well, what was the next match? So we can talk about that too. What was that opened? What was the following? Was it Finn and AJ? Was that the next match?
Yes.
Okay. So that was I feel like the women's War Games went long, so this got cut. This actually wasn't as good as the match they had on Raw a few weeks ago, but it was clean and it was good. And AJ got a win. AJ hasn't had a win on pay-per-view in like a year.
Yes, it's been a long time.
So it was good. It was a really good, clean. It was a nice palate cleanse. After the end of that, and after kind of the discombobulation of the beginning, it was a nice palate cleanse of what that was. And I thought that they really went out and went all for it. And there was less like tomfoolery than I thought there was going to be. So that was good too. And it was really just two guys who were like at the top of their game, just being better at wrestling than everybody else. And I don't know that we've seen Finn heel versus, a baby face like AJ Styles, other than the Finn AJ Styles match that we saw on Raw, whatever, a couple weeks ago or a month ago. But it's not something that I feel like is overdone, and was to see AJ win was good. And he won with a phenomenal forearm, and it kind of came out of nowhere. I was shocked. We were like,
it did. That was cool.
Like we were like Damien and I was like, whoa, I got him. Holy crap. That was good. And it was sort of, it felt a little underwhelming because there wasn't a whole lot of buildup, but it did kind of come out of nowhere. And I felt that they did really well with the time that they had, because I think the first match went over. So I think they cut them for time, but I think for what it was,
first match went over.
So I think for what it was, they really did everything they could with the time. And I think that shock, like, oh my God, he caught me, or, with the phenomenal forearm just out of nowhere. I think that was a really good finish to that. And I would like to see, now this is like I would like to see like because Finn won the first one, and I would like to see part 3. And even if it goes to WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble or whatever, like I would like to see part 3. So that's something to me that is good. And I think I'm on record of saying, like, yeah, Finn Balor and AJ Styles are fighting each other on a card. That's the best match on the card. This was pretty close.
Moving on, we had Ronda Rousey defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Shotzi Blackheart. Derek, what a fucking shit show this was, huh?
But we still have to see this shit over and over, because unfortunately somebody decided to pay Ronda Rousey a whole lot of money. Because this is not championship pay-per-view material. This is not the representation of what Thomas said earlier as the greatest women's division ever assembled.
This
is
isn't
what
even
we put out here for the championship.
These aren't even TV worthy match. This is somebody going out there on paper. Ronda Rousey went out there and did not want to work with Shotzi. And it was blatantly, there were 3 or 4 spots where like Ronda just like would hook her arm to not take a bump. And I don't know how, like, okay, so you guys remember when Dean Ambrose fought Brock Lesnar and it was infamous because Dean Ambrose and Brock didn't want to take Dean's shit, right? Didn't want to take Mox's shit. This was that, but like kind of twofold. One, Brock Lesnar is actually good at wrestling, and it was less egregious. 2, like Brock took some stuff. Ronda just didn't take any bumps.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I didn't see any of that.
No, Ronda phoned it. There was a DDT on the apron where Ronda hooked her arm on the top rope and just didn't take it, but still sold it, but dumped Shotzi like a sack of bricks.
I saw that.
There was there was another one. There's a Hurricane Rana too, where like Ronda she took it, but then she kind of just rolled, and it was like it was gross. It was all bad.
Are we certain that Tom? And I'm not doubting you because
maybe she does. Maybe she's look. Maybe it's because she's bad.
Yeah,
and maybe
exactly. How do we know this wasn't just botches? Because this is implying that she's actually smart enough and in ring aware enough to intentionally do these things. She's an MMA fighter in a cage. She's not used to this. Not that she's not done it for years now. I'm sure she's had plenty of time at the performance center and training and all that. But
how is every newest Ronda Rousey match her worst match ever? Like I feel like that's really what we're doing.
Because the fact of the matter is, as time goes on more and more, since she's had this baby, she's become more disenfranchised with being a professional wrestler, right? Like she has a baby, a newborn baby, and she just wants to be a mom. Like it's been talked about. She continues to just show up to fulfill her contractual obligations. She doesn't want to be there. As to where before she wanted to be there, she was trying to get better. Now she just doesn't want to be there. That's all this comes down to. Like,
well, I mean, I think that runs in line with what I was saying is that like she not only that, but like she doesn't want to take the bumps either, and because the bumps hurt. Like let's still real to me, damn it. But like wrestling hurts. Like it doesn't feel good if it's not in your heart to take that bump and put that person over and put that move over. Like, and you don't take it, that's part of it. That's part of not having your heart into it. And you're right. She doesn't, her heart's not into it, and nobody can now, how do they get out of this? I don't know. Do they have Shotzi or do they have not Shotzi? Do they have Shayna Baszler turn on her and just take her down?
You're gonna have to do something, bro. Gotta do something.
Like
a lot of people are throwing blame on Brian Kendrick. This was his first match, his first match as a producer, and he was in charge of this match. So like everybody's trying to lay this on him, and I mean, despite the anti-Semitism and things that happened back in 2000 and fucking
2010, I think,
whatever it was, and like that cost him his AEW gig. Hey man, WWE's, they know what dude's past is, right? So like, but people are taking shots at him for this match that like this was his fault. That's a tough card to draw.
I don't think it's his fault that like Ronda didn't want to take bumps and like they botched moves. Like Shotzi's not the cleanest wrestler of all time either. Like let's be fair. Like she's not a Becky Lynch. She's not a Charlotte Flair. She's really not even. She got
over in the Indies with her gimmick and the tank and stuff. And listen, that's it. She's the indie level. She's,
in my opinion, mediocre. she is the definition of and then the bell ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like really nobody's.
I was thinking that as well during this match.
Like I'm like Liv Morgan's not like as improved as Liv. Like Liv Morgan's not the best wrestler either, and they did this to Liv too. But Shotzi's like 2-3 steps below Liv, as far as performer in the ring is concerned.
They've put themselves in a situation, Tom, where they need to build some undercard women's stars, because Charlotte's been gone for how long? Becky was gone for how long? Sasha's gone, Naomi's gone. Like, all of these people that they've built this division on are kind of starting to go to the wayside a little bit, and they're kind of hitting the panic button a skosh.
I think that's why they've put Shayna with Ronda right now, because the panic button is okay. Well, let's see if a Shotzi or a Liv or whatever can get a good match out of Ronda, because if not, we know Shayna can have a shoot match with Ronda, and we can pull the trigger if we need to. And I think
real
that's
life best
anyway.
friends.
Right, they are real life best friends, but at the same time, their real life best friending makes and they can have a MMA match that's mostly holds and twists and turn and like stuff that's like, well, I'm not going to really break your ankle, but it's going to look like I'm going to try to break your ankle. I'm not going to really choke you out, but it's going to look like I'm choking the shit out of you. And it's like nobody's going to take DDTs onto aprons or pull out some kind of like, I'm going to hit you in the face with a chair. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be more of a like MMA style, a fake MMA like warm up type of thing. Where
it's going to look hard hitting, and it's going to be somewhat hard hitting.
And it's gonna look like notched in, but it won't be. And Ronda will be happy to go back to her baby and drop a belt to her friend Shayna.
It's just going to be a half shoot.
Who can then have professional wrestling matches and make look. You're not going to tell me Shayna Baszler can't make anybody else look great and look great herself while being. You're not going to convince me that Shayna is not everything that Ronda isn't, but she doesn't have the name value that Ronda does. So if Shayna beats Ronda, then you've got something. Now you've maybe got a little bit of a conundrum for WrestleMania. You probably have to bring Charlotte back and build her up against Shayna, and she probably drops it to Charlotte at WrestleMania, to all of our chagrin. But it's there, and it's a better match.
It is a better match, and at least we'd actually be seeing some higher level talent in the greatest women's division ever assembled.
Yeah, and
it's done, bro. Like I'm just done. Can we just be done with Ronda Rousey?
I wish we're dealing with the sore thumb Ronda problem, right? It's clearly the sore thumb of pay-per-views, right? Of premium live events. It's the sore thumb. It's the sore thumb. It's the burning torch that we just can't seem to snuff out.
Can't we just come to a mutual agreement here and just mutually part ways? Here's some money. Oh, I can just give me my belt.
I think by WrestleMania we'll be done, but we're just not there yet.
Yeah,
so, bro.
Maybe we'll drop it at WrestleMania, and then we'll be done.
No, I think it'll drop before then, but I think it'll be teased out. I think she and Shayna may have a good. I think they may tease it out, and she and Shayna may have a good blow off for the title to put it on Shayna, who can then lose it to Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Damn it, Bobby.
Right.
Moving on, match for the United States Championship. Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory.
Loved this. This was so
I
good.
did too.
This was like, so, you know, everybody bitches about how it's like in a trios match, in a match like this, where it's you know, one-on-one, nobody gets over.
No,
this was not because
it's
so hard to build this match. This match was built incredibly.
Bro, they told a great story in this match too.
Not only did they tell a great story, but this was a fantastic match. Like this was like, if I'm Dave Meltzer, I'm giving this 5 stars. This was incredible.
But you're not Dave. Dave's
I'm not.
Give it fucking 2.25.
But that's fine.
It didn't happen in the Tokyo.
But they pulled off the impossible. Really, they made me give a shit about every one of these guys, and I didn't know who was going to win going in, and I was rooting for everybody. It's impossible. They pulled off the impossible.
It was
This
good.
to me was the diamond in the rough of this pay-per-view.
No disagreement, bud. Like, I thought this match was fucking phenomenal. The little section in the middle where like everybody was like interchanging, do you know what I'm saying? And like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go over strong. You know, you had Bobby go over strong on Theory, and then Theory rolls out, and then him and Rollins have a thing, and then you know, Bobby gets overtaken, and then Theory comes back in with Rollins, and like just the way that they interweaved with one another, I thought that it was done brilliantly, right? And there's a lot of times where there's just so much downtime for that extra guy. You get those little flashes
Mhm.
of that, and they did such a great job with that cohesive piece of like, hey, you need to be here, I'm gonna be here, this is gonna be here. And Tom, I don't want to take your fucking thunder from you, but you commented in the group message. It's like, hey man, Rollins has been laying on the canvas, calling this entire thing, calling the
Mhm.
spots on this thing. My man called a banger.
Well, the only miss, and we both saw it, and we saw it live. The one miss in this match, Bobby did not lay his spear in. It was more of a glancing blow right at the end. It was the last.
It looked like a
the
roll up,
la-
bro.
The last second of the match, Bobby hits a glancing blow spear while Rollins has him up to give him the Falcon Arrow. While Rollins has Theory up to give him the Falcon Arrow, Bobby hits his spear. It hits his wrist. Now, Bobby Lashley's wrist is 3 of my wrists. So maybe that's decimate. It's not. To me, it's not that egregious.
Listen. If
But
I'm Bobby Lashley and I know that's the finish, I am cutting fucking Rollins in half.
Right? I mean, I'm just like, and you know what? Maybe it was a thing where Rollins is like, look, and he's calling it, right? And maybe he's saying, look, my back is a little bit tweaked right now. Do not take me out for the next year.
No.
I'm just, and maybe it's a respect for a competitor thing. Look, I don't know what goes on backstage. I'm just telling you right now. But it was a glancing blow. It didn't look great on TV. Nobody's really complaining about it online, but we saw it, and it was really like, because I was so entrenched with it, right? I was so like, it had me like this, right? It had me like this, and I saw that, and I went, no.
So the wild thing is, right, like, and I think you touched on this, like triple threats they don't keep my attention.
It's so hard to get everybody over and like to maintain that momentum.
I'm not sure how you can say it doesn't keep your attention. I mean, especially
it's a maintaining of a momentum.
Well, it's just, I would rather see a 3-man match, honestly, than a 4-man, battle royal type thing. I'd rather see, a 1v1.
Anyway, now I mean, it's the Bobby Lashley sort of I don't even call it botched because he still hit it, but it was a glancing blow, and that was it. I don't want to say it soured me the whole match, but it was like, oh man, we're this close to being We were. What's the Star Wars meme? We were this close to perfection, this close, and that's what it was. They were that close.
Would have been the match. It would have been the match of the year for sure.
Oh, for sure, it would have been. It had Bobby been able to lay it in. I mean, it's potentially, yeah. It's a very minor thing, but it was that close. So close.
Obviously, Austin Theory goes over, new United States champion.
I love that too.
I made the comment, and Derek, I don't know if you caught this, but Seth Rollins did more for Austin Theory in one night than the Money in the Bank briefcase did in all those months.
It's true. It worked out well for them. They had a plan. They, unlike what we spoke about with AEW, had a plan for long-term storytelling that wasn't ingrained in some weird-ass thing.
A lot of people were worried about him. A lot of people were worried about him getting...
It's worked out wonderful for him. And as you said, he couldn't have done any better than what Seth Rollins did for him right there.
Nope.
I mean, it made him a top-tier guy. It took him from a guy that we were like, really? You're just going to push this on us? And it put him to like, nope, I believe. And he's in the ring right now. I believe.
Yeah,
Look,
let's see where it goes. He wasn't he wasn't ready to be the fucking Universal Champion.
No.
Like,
But now, after what they put him through, he's ready to be the U.S. champion.
yes.
And right now, he's got a mic. I don't know what he's saying because he's on mute right now, but
a belt that they tried to use him to elevate, and he just couldn't get it over the hump. So then they put it on Lashley and fucking Rollins, and now they brought it back to him because the U.S. Championship fucking means something. And now he's going to be the one that's tasked with that. This could be that John Cena-esque U.S. title run, right?
yeah, and you can't tell me that's not how Triple H pitched this to him. Look, this is your John Cena, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, but there's a clip of John Cena after he wins the U.S. title where a bunch of women come up to him and they're like, "Oh my God, it's so much bigger than we thought it was. Can we touch it? Can we see it?" And it's like, and they're like, they're talking about the U.S. title and they spin it because it's the spinny one. And they spin it and they do the thing, and it's just like, oh, here comes Seth. But this is like that run of that. Maybe they probably won't have women be like, "Can we touch it?" But at the same time, like this is that they're gonna do that with it.
That's the current United States Championship right there. It
is a gorgeous belt.
This is the best replica belt that I own.
It is
my favorite.
It is
even better than the Rated R spinner. That is my favorite.
Seth Rollins is dressed like a woman right now.
Seth Rollins can do no wrong.
He's dressed. I'm not mad at it, but he's dressed like a woman right now.
Hey, so has anybody had like a really iconic U.S. title run other than John Cena in the last like 25 years?
I feel like the title really fell by the wayside for a long time.
The U.S. title really. No, Bobby Lashley's was good a couple years ago, a year ago.
Well, he's the one that brought out that title, I think, that version.
Yeah,
I think he was the original holder.
As far as the U.S. title is concerned, it's a layover WCW belt. So it's like, it's like they retired like the European Championship and all that other shit. As far as really good, I mean, they're hit and miss, right? Like, I'm sure the Miz probably had a really good one at some point. Like that just seems to be how that shit works.
Yeah, but he to me will always be like an iconic Intercontinental Champion. Like, I'll never really tie him to a U.S. title run.
Right, but he probably had a good U.S. title run at some point because he's had the title a couple of times. So one of those was probably pretty freaking good because like that's just what he does.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I just think that we're due for like an epic title run, and maybe Austin Theory's the one.
Maybe. I hope so. That'd be great.
Not like like obviously the Bloodline and all of that. They are what they are. But hey, man, let's get an epic title run on a mid card. Let's make it mean something.
Well,
let's prop that motherfucker up a little bit.
Let's let Austin Theory do to the U.S. Championship what Gunther's doing to the Intercontinental right now. Like let's just let him go. Let's let them feel unbeatable. Like let's let them batter their opponents like to a pulp. And it's hard because you got guys like Rollins coming out to be like, that's mine, and you're gonna give it back to me. And I don't know, but like, we'll see. We'll see.
Propping that motherfucker up, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we got our main event. The Brawling Brutes, Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre versus the Bloodline. Now, there was a little bit of bullshit going into this match, right? Like, Sami Zayn, who is on the run of his career. Like, War Games was the single biggest moment of his entire career. Like, when they did a close-up of him, like, when they first loaded into the cage, he was so hyped. And his face, he was so focused. And, like, you could just tell he was like, hey, this is big time. You could see it. You could see it. And I thought he delivered.
He was pumped.
I thought he delivered. but there's a little bit of bullshit going into this, right? So
the storyline I felt like was really, really good.
yes,
The match itself was, I mean, it was
it
better
wasn't a
than
class. It wasn't a classic.
it wasn't a classic. It was better than the women's one. It did its job. It was like
What
I don't
happened
want to
after
say,
the match was more important than the match itself.
yeah, and it was like I don't want to say that it was like, so you know how the Rumble last year we felt like they wasted it. It's not the same. It's not like that. Like they it was like the opposite sort of, whereas like they didn't waste it because they used the match to tell the story. Whereas like with Rumbles, like you don't want to use a Royal Rumble to tell the story. You want to use a Royal Rumble to like shake things up. And they used the War Games to tell a story because I mean ultimately like nothing was on the line other than like pride and whatever else. So it's like that's the kind of match you want to use to tell a story. And they did a good job. Did that make it the best? Oh my god, I can't believe how good the match was. Oh my god,
No,
5
man.
stars,
Listen,
10 stars.
We're not
20
talking
stars
about
in the
War Games
Tokyo Dome.
2018 here. Fucking okay.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that match.
Yeah.
Okay, this was not that match.
No, they use it to tell a story. And this is the kind of match that you use to tell a story.
Yes.
They did a better job with this. I feel like the women's War Games was an afterthought comparatively to how they told the story with this, because they tried to do the same thing, but like it just wasn't as powerful with the women's. So
yeah, I mean, you threw the women together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there's been shit going on between these two factions every Friday. Every Monday, Friday, like for the last X amount of weeks.
the women's had connectivity, but it wasn't to the level. It wasn't the
But
same.
the one group of the women's was just a hodgepodge with Bliss and Bianca. At
Well,
least
not really, because
made a little bit of sense. I know we've been seeing her come out with them lately, but and then we tossed in Mia Yim, and
Mia Yim was really the outlier because she just showed back up 2 weeks ago.
right, but also too, she's involved in the whole thing with Rhea Ripley, so that's why.
But I don't care yet. I don't have that.
Right,
no, and that's what I'm trying to say.
She hasn't been there long term either. Like she showed up to be the answer to Rhea, but she's not on that level. Like she's never been. She's not.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to look back into the annals of the early 2020s of the WWE Women's Division and put Mia Yim on any level near where we put Rhea Ripley, right? Like that's just not like we're not there, right? Where it's the connectivity is not there. Like Mia Yim is not a Rhea Ripley. Like she's at her ceiling probably right now. Like this is her pinnacle where she is right now. Rhea Ripley can only go up and continues to only go up. So I mean, we're not like that. They're not the same.
I'm actually kind of shocked that you feel that way.
Really? Like
yeah,
Mia Yim's overrated. Like, am I the only one that thinks that? Like, she's just not.
Like,
I didn't even realize she was that over to call her overrated.
Fair.
But regardless, so we circle back, right? But like, the booking just wasn't as strong.
No,
in the story booking wasn't as strong in the women's match as it was the men's match, and I think that's what made the men's match so much more compelling, right? And it's like you get all of this thing where everybody's been intermingled for the last several months, actually, with the Usos and the Brutes having the tag team match before the New Day thing, like, so that all that's intertwined, and then obviously Solo Sikoa cost Drew McIntyre the Undisputed Championship, Clash at the Castle, like all kinds of shit going on in there, right? And it all kind of made sense and wrapped up into one, especially when you add Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens into the mix, which leads me to the shenanigans beforehand. So Derek, what did you think about the Tribal Chief hearing Sami Zayn out?
I mean, I thought it was a good lead into everything. They kept the show going. I mean, I will take any segment where we can have a little Tribal Chief chat 1-to-1. Make sure everybody's feeling oozy, make sure everything's good. You know, we got Paul Heyman back there. Yes, my tribal chief. And it's great stuff. It's been great stuff for years. And they've made everyone care so much about all this, like we just spoke about.
Yeah.
I was not unhappy to see segments throughout the entire show leading up to what was going to happen. We all knew that it was going to come down to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and we were looking forward to this weeks ago whenever we thought he was going to be injured and actually not be able to make the match. We ended up getting what we wanted. We ended up getting a little more than what I was expecting between KO and Roman Reigns, to be honest. I didn't expect them to go at it as much as they did. Seems like Roman got a little hot even from what I hear. But, buddy, that's a great match. Great lead up for the match. I love it.
It was.
Tom, are you a fan of the backstage segment on the pay-per-view?
Oh, absolutely, dude. It made this the main event. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'm a fan. It made this the main event. Was it the cleanest, best pure wrestling match on the card? No, but was it the main event? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's really where we need to be with the bloodline here, and with all of this, is that, like, you know, there are things that are not going to be. It's a spectacle. It's not the purest of, you know, where we may see, you know, big elaborate holds or big moves or whatever. It's like, no. We're going to see punches thrown. We're going to see big punches and big, like, boom, boom. And, like, are you guys, you're not fans of fighting games, neither of you. So fighting games are weird in the sense that pro wrestling is weird, in that, you know, you can see guys you can combo together special moves, slides, kicks, pop-ups, you know, holds, whatever. And it's like, I've got a spectacular move to counter all of your, you know, bullshit baby moves. But two guys that can do the same thing in a fight, it's much more boring. It's much more calculated. It's much more kick, block, kick, block, punch, block kind of thing. And this is sort of a combination of the two. And they try to merge the two where it's like, it's not a like spectacle. Nobody can block anybody else. Everybody's wide open and just taking punches to the face, taking suplexes, taking everything. And it just moves everywhere. This is a calculated look. It looks like a fight, but at the same time, like, it's slower. It's not quite as spectacular. Nobody's taking chair shots to the face and then a sweep kick, and then somebody else, and then somebody drops an elbow on the back of their head, and then
you're just
like
standing in there throwing chairs, fucking in every direction at people's heads. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, this sort of had a little bit of everything, and they tried to
fucking whiz that thing.
They tried to melt it all together and make a beautiful mac and cheese. And they did a really good job. It was
a good match. The story, the story that was told, I think, was the best.
Yeah,
the absolutely the best part of it. But hey, Derek, you kind of alluded to it. So apparently, what happened was, leading into the end of the match, there's been some speculation that Kevin Owens went into business for himself at the cost of the tribal chief. So there's a spot in the match where Roman feels that Kevin took liberties at his expense. Now, nobody seems to have a single moment that they're pointing to yet that's been described, but I'm willing to bet it's whenever Kevin Owens slapped him in the fucking face.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's absolutely the slap fest that was at the end there. Which, you know, we got to make this look good, don't we?
Yeah.
Well,
it's amazing, right? Like, so Roman goes back behind the curtain, and he's laying into KO, and Triple H stepped in and said, "Hey, this isn't the time or place for this conversation. Take it to the locker room."
Where'd you get this information from, Meltzer?
I mean, you know, I've got sources.
Oh man,
Sources.
Wolf sources.
It's
Friend of the show, Pat Martin said so.
It's that particularly to me, I saw that happen and I went, oh, Roman's going to be mad about that. And I feel like that really makes things better. Look, is Roman on his high horse right now? Yeah. And I feel like, God, anybody that pokes the bear kind of is sort of in a good graces right now. And this isn't the first time or the last time this is going to happen in pro wrestling. But it's one of those things where it's like, if you're out there and you're in the middle of this and it's like, okay, we've been out here for 40 minutes at this point, and I'm going to slap this man. I'm just going to do, like, he's got a beard. Look, if you slap me, well, I know you feel the same way. If somebody slaps you, it's funny, right? Because there's so much hair, and it's like, what are you going to, like, bat me on the top of my head too?
Yeah, but Roman's saying that he got his eardrum ruptured in this.
Oh, okay. Boo. Yeah, man up. Okay, Tribal Chief, man up. Like this is not the fight he wants to fight, right? Like he doesn't want to be my eardrum. He slapped me. No, he didn't want to be that guy. Okay, like you're hard.
So,
you're the Tribal Chief. You're hard. You're a hard motherfucker.
So let me get this straight. Y'all don't have a problem with this.
No. Look, if it was an accident, sure. Like if Kevin Owens was like, I'm going to cup my hand and try to hurt you.
Y'all don't have a problem with the fact
but that ain't the way
there was a backstage altercation in WWE.
After the fact.
I mean, Brawl Out was after the fact.
There was not a brawl. Look, did Roman Reigns bite Kevin Owens? Is he bit?
No, but I mean, we still don't know what happened, bud. So it's okay that it's okay.
What are the odds that Roman Reigns
fair for us to sit here and draw conclusions
Kevin Owens
on
behind
something?
His rickety locker room door and kicked that motherfucker in addition to kicking his dog.
April, go fetch the door, please.
Where's my smoking jacket? Yeah, no, it's not going to end up this way. This is not the way.
I mean, but I just think that it's funny, and that y'all motherfuckers are like, oh, this is cool. It's okay. It's okay.
Because at this
boys
point,
will be boys, right?
It would have been boys. It would have been boys would be boys until CM Punk was all, April, where's my dog? April, where are his
Larry the
teeth?
dog bit a guy.
You know what the difference
is?
It was
Ace Steel. It was Ace
on
Steel.
camera. None of this.
Nothing yeah.
This
Roman
is
Reigns,
a byproduct of the internet and us having too much information. I mean, if this would have been back
Roman did come out and say,
we wouldn't know anything about it for weeks because we'd had to wait to get the monthly newsletter. And that's if you're a subscriber back, and you got to be hardcore.
Eric's over here keeping it kayfabe right now.
For
like it.
$16.99 a month.
Yeah.
Having to subscribe to the newsletter so that you can read it in print and have it shipped to your house. $16.99 a month plus shipping and handling. I don't know what handling ever meant, but apparently it's to pay the guy that goes.
That's the tip for the post office walker.
Shipping and handling, baby. Although I don't understand why it cost them $8 to ship me a magazine in 1992, but still, no, this is not the same. It's not the same. Look, if Roman was,
it's on the other side. That's why it's not the same,
buddy. If Roman wants to come out and be like, I'm old and I'm hurt and I work with children, like, let's talk about that when that happens. But that didn't happen. That was like a way behind the scenes, like, there's sources that say Roman's mad. Nobody fucking knows that Roman's mad. Maybe Roman's mad, maybe Roman's not mad. We can't confirm that. Nobody's going to confirm or deny that. CM Punk was like, I'm old, I'm hurt, and I work with fucking children. Roman didn't say, fuck Kevin Owens. I work with a fucking child. What a fucking piece of shit on television. They had a live media scrum after this thing, and Roman didn't come out and be like, Kevin Owens is a chooch.
He was supposed to be there, but because of this altercation, he wasn't there.
I can't hear. It don't work no more.
It don't work no more. Look, and until that happens, like it's just not the same. Like until somebody's out, like Kevin Owens is a chooch, fucking Kevin Steen, you piece of shit motherfucker. I never liked you anyway. You're a child, you bitch, you fucking child. And like when Roman does that, like I'll be like, and then like after the fact, like, oh my God, somebody hit Roman in the face and like broke his dog's teeth. I'm like, well, maybe, like he was CM Punk in the whole thing, but that didn't happen. So until that happened,
It's just
how is that fucking unbelievable?
Biased reporting.
It's not biased. It's like we're talking about apples.
You have
and
a
oranges
biased
here.
opinion.
Arguing.
We're talking about
arguing for the sake of it.
It's apples and oranges here. Like okay. Look, KO is probably maybe going to be a little bit demoted if everybody's pissed at him, and we'll see that behind the scenes. However, there will not be an eruption where Roman Reigns' dog allegedly gets his teeth knocked out and somebody bites somebody. That didn't happen. Everybody was a professional, and like, were people maybe upset? Yeah,
Were they?
People get upset all the goddamn time in wrestling. Like this is like not the newest thing. This is like the oldest thing in wrestling. Good God, when everybody wanted to punch Shawn Michaels' teeth in for 20 fucking years, they wanted to punch his teeth in. Like 3 people did punch his teeth in, and we never heard about it because they didn't be like, fuck Shawn Michaels.
No, you never heard of the Montreal Screwjob, pal?
I mean, I watched it live on pay-per-view for $50, but I mean, I never heard of it.
That motherfucker was screaming "fuck Shawn Michaels" for a long time.
But now they're friends. How are they? They are literally friends now. They literally stand next to each other at like Ric Flair's wrestling matches and clap.
Yeah, because Bret Hart's mad at Goldberg now, not Shawn.
Bret Hart can only be mad at one person at a time.
Yeah.
And
yes, hate.
It's been Goldberg for 25 years.
Unbelievable. So,
unbelievable.
Match of the week.
So I'm gonna go with actually the triple threat match.
Hey, we do a thing here, pal.
Oh right, there's a thing. Go.
I would love to, but it's not working.
Okay, so my match of the week was Ye Olde OLDE triple threat match between silence for dramatic effect between Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, and Austin Theory
there
for the US title.
Go.
No, look, it was dramatic effect. So it was great. They
dramatically forgot what you were trying to say.
Did not. Anyway, threat match that I've seen in a long time, where they've like really managed to put all of this over and make everybody who's involved in the match get put over. I was shocked. Because going into maybe the point of this was that going into it is that my like expectations were low because like, God, another fucking triple threat match. Oh my God, okay. But really like going into it was like I give a shit about all 3 of these guys, and then like they went into it and like during the announced team needs to be put over as well because they really did a good job. But at the same time, the match was fantastic. So that's the match of the week, and it's not close, and that was the one.
Okay.
It's
not close, he says.
Derek,
what was your match of the week, bud?
Oh, Tom, you are about to hate me.
What a tangled web I weave.
Well,
did Nick Gage fight this week?
My match of the week is the number 2 out of 7 match for the triple man tag belts, whatever we're calling them, 3-man.
I would rather try to piss in my own mouth than watch this match.
You should try it. It's good.
It's
really
watch the
good
match
match.
or piss in my mouth. Because
No, man. The match was great. You just need to put on your happy pants.
Buddy, I
Just
watched it. Buddy, I
sit down
watched
and
it.
enjoy.
Buddy, I
Buddy,
watched it. And after I watched
how
it,
much?
I was like, I have to pee. I wish I'd have peed in my own eyes rather than watch this match. And
I don't know how you
like
can
this
not
fucking
enjoy what
dance
they put
routine
on
bullshit.
for us.
God, okay, we're here comes heel Tom. Oh my god, I thought I put him away, but like I just felt like I felt this like hand come over and be like, take over the brain. Here's heel Tom. Fucking this match was like, oh my god, like how much time do you think they put in this dance routine? Do you think they were like Charleston in Carolina? Like, fuck these guys. Fuck all 6 of them. Like, let them go home and like fuck each other until they're done. And like, then they can like, after they fuck each other 7 times, maybe then they can like decide who they want to be the trios champion, because I could not give less of a shit about these belts. I could not give less of a shit about either of these teams right now. I used to like I mean, 3 out of these 6 guys. Fuck all of this. Fuck all of this, and fuck all of these guys, and fuck their best of 7. Their best of 7. They should do it on the sun where they all burn up and fucking die. Fuck this and fuck that and fuck this match.
Are you
thinking this is a good match? Fuck you.
Are you done? Are you done
now? Yeah, done.
You're a fucking salty fucking bitch today, bro. Like, god
damn. I
damn.
don't know what you're fucking putting salt in your
Get that
beer.
sand out of your vagina.
Nope, it feels good in
I'm
there. It
just
feels
a
better than this
teenage
match
boy.
did anyway.
For
This
fuck's
match felt real
sake.
bad. That sand feels better compared to this match. Fuck.
My match of the week is also the number 2.
Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, bud.
I'm done. Fuck y'all. I'm not even listening.
The fact
you guys could go to hell. No.
All right,
match
so
of the week-
tell me how great
but
the
my-
match was.
My
I
match
know,
of the
right?
week
Like,
was
that not the best?
my match of the week was actually the men's war game match.
Oh, fuck you.
Listen, I really enjoyed it, man. Like they did a really good job telling a big part of the story that they've been trying to tell, right? Between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, and we got that payoff. So I'm interested to see like how this morphs and moves forward. Now that like they're feeling a little oozy together, you know what I mean? So I think that what's going to continue to happen with the bloodline took precedent for me. Over everything else, man. Realistically, the trios tag match I did enjoy. I liked the couple little shots at CM Punk and stuff like that. It's that's there for the smart marks, right? I really, 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 really loved that triple threat match. Everything Tom said is absolutely fucking true.
Yeah, I think all of our
Fantastic.
matches this week were great picks.
Overall,
with you, man. This was the ending that we've been, well, not the ending, but find a little closure to a certain issue that's been going on for so long now that, it's nice. Now we're an official.
It opens up a lot more too, right? Like
Opens up a new T-shirt opportunity.
Yeah,
now
sure
we can
does.
drop the honorary. Now we get a new T-shirt.
So
Look at that marketing at its best.
It's going to be fun to see what happens. All right, well, I guess it's just me and you getting out of here because I guess I just sent fucking Tom over the edge. Hey, if you're here with us now, please hit that like button. We really appreciate it. If you're enjoying us later, wherever you are, whenever it is, we appreciate you. Check us out over on social media, both Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. And with all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast. Hey man, you all right? Like are you okay? Like, did I hurt your feelings? Now you're
so
muted.
salt.